Yeah. Sit down, me and Justin, yeah, we do it like that. Father and son time, welcome to BoltCap. Talking Chargers football, every week we lock in. Real talk only, you know how we walk in. Passion in the room and the love's on high. Sharing all the stories as the season fly by. 25 years deep, my son know the game. Proud just to hear him speak the Chargers name. BoltCap is the vibe when we roll. Father and son, yeah, we speak from the soul.
Hey, what's going on, Chargers family? Welcome to BoltCap. I'm here with my son Justin, and we're about to recap this huge Chargers win today. We just ask that you like, share, and subscribe so that the podcast can continue to grow. This is BoltCap, and I do it with my son here, Justin, and the Chargers winning the Arrowhead today, which is a tough place to go into play on the road in the cold. I think it was down to like 8-9 degrees against a desperate Chiefs team. And they came out with a 16-13 victory. It wasn't pretty, but it was a big-time win. So let's talk about it. Justin, how did that game make you feel watching it?
It was a game that was like, while watching it, it's hard to breathe because every possession matters. I mean, I knew going into the game it was going to be a gritty game. I thought the Chiefs was going to play one of their best games of this season because of how desperate they were going to be, knowing that their season was on the line. So I knew it was going to be a close game coming down to the wire, but it was a little too close for comfort.
This wasn't a game where like everything looked easy. What stood out to you about the Chargers still finding a way to win, although things wasn't going their way early on?
Usually, this is a game that in years past we'd end up losing.
Yeah.
So what stood out to me was that, I mean, the last couple of weeks, we've been able to pull out those grinded out, gritty wins that usually wouldn't go in our favor.
Yeah.
So that and the defense is really, they're starting to really like ball out and go to another level because earlier we was questioning Jesse Minter and how he was calling defense. But right now, defensively at least, it looks like everything's starting to click and they're playing as one.
That's right. And that's what good teams do, right? They always, sometimes they don't always look perfect, but they stay in it, especially on the road in Arrowhead. A lot of people say that Seattle and Arrowhead in Kansas City are two of the loudest stadiums to play in. And what I like the most about lately in these close games, we panic sometimes because it looked like things are starting to get away. And the thing I like about what Jim Harbaugh got these guys doing, they stay very calm when chaos is going on, right? I think the defense set the tone in this game. And if you had to pick one player from the defensive side that really stood out to you today, that made their impact today, who would you say it was?
Tuli's been balling for us, especially the second half of the season. I don't think it's just one player though, because Odafe away.
Oh yeah,
he had 2 big sacks for us too.
Yeah.
And then of course Derwin, he ended the game on a interception. But for me, I'd have to say Tuli and Odafe, just the D line in general.
Yeah,
because we put pressure on Mahomes all night, and that was the big thing because we know you can't give Mahomes you can't give him any time. Right. So keeping pressure on him and keep him off his spot, even though he's really good out of the pocket, keeping pressure on him was like the biggest thing defensively.
Yeah, Derwin did have his impact on the game. He was blowing some plays up in the backfield. I think sometimes Minter depend on Derwin to get pressure a little too much and kind of forget that the other team has a good tight end. And I like the fact on that final drive, because right before then, I think Kelsey converted a third down. And there was nobody around him. Like, how do you leave him that wide open on a third down? You know they're going to them. So what the adjustment he made, as soon as it was 4th down, I believe it was, and Gardner Minshew was in, and of course, like we knew, he went right for Kelsey, and they had Derwin James to fall back in coverage and cover Kelsey, which he's been very good at that since he's been in the league. What you think about that play, and what you think about the adjustment that Minter made?
I love the adjustment because me personally, anytime we play against a big name tight end, Derwin should be the matchup all the time. I don't like switching Derwin off of those tight ends because we know how great he is. And I understand he's great in other areas, rushing the quarterback and everything like that. But when you need it the most, Derwin should be on Kelsey all the time. So to that play that Travis Kelsey converted, I'm pretty sure it was Marcus Williams, if I'm not mistaken, that was on him.
Yeah.
And Travis Kelsey just beat him. And those are the times where you just question it, like, Derwin should be on him, because if Derwin's on him, I don't think he converts it, because we saw what happened the next series. I love the adjustment because I think Derwin is our best chance when we go up against Travis Kelce or any big name tight end in general.
This is what it felt like to me. It felt like the Chiefs had to work for every yard. Did it feel like
Mhm.
that to you?
Yes, it did. And once again, because this was a defense that I was questioning, especially that zone defense.
Yeah.
I like, me personally, I think we should send pressure more, but this is why you don't. You saw that when our four down linemen get home and they get after Mahomes, that's where the zone works, and that's what you need. You need
Yeah. Yeah.
both. You need complementary football. You need both of it to work. The zone can't work without the pass rush.
Yeah.
So with the guys getting home to Mahomes, it allowed the zone to flourish really. And you had to work for everything. You wasn't allowing any big plays over top. Everything Mahomes got, it was hard.
Referencing off what you're saying about the zone defense, and it works when you get home. When you don't get home, those guys go in the middle of the field and find the soft spot of that zone, and that's where they start making a lot of catches across the middle. But they were hitting, they were flying all around. They weren't afraid of the moment. Like, we were sitting back, and I know I was kind of panicky a little bit, thinking that this could be a long drive and it could be a game-winning touchdown by Pat Mahomes, and that would have been so devastating to see that. But they weren't afraid to be in that moment. They believed, like Durham was saying after the game, they believed in everybody they got in that locker room, and they felt like somebody would make the play, and it ended up being him. When the game started, right, like in the second quarter, things start to get chippy and a little emotional. I think the Chiefs were starting to sense that this is not a good day for them, and they had a hard time moving the ball on the offensive side. Did you feel like the Chargers backed down, or did they stand their ground? I thought they stood their ground, but I didn't think it warranted him getting kicked out. He took one for the team. The Chiefs have been beating us like this all the time, and we've been known around the league as being soft or never being strong enough to close games out in the end. Because the hit that he did earlier was a clean hit right in the chest.
Yeah.
Chiefs took exception to that and took a cheap shot at him. And he said, okay, he know he's going to get penalized, but he wanted to send a message back. We're no longer going to be bullied by the Kansas City Chiefs or anybody else for that matter anymore. Did you kind of feel that was happening?
Yeah. This is a team that in years past have walked all over us. They have bullied us. But like you always say, now I think it's different because of Jim Harbaugh and the effect that he brings to this team. We're not that same team anymore. We're not the team that the Chiefs are just going to walk all over. We're going to fight back, and we stood our ground. Now, with Tony Jefferson, look, football is an aggressive sport. Obviously, you don't want what happened to Tyquan Thornton, I think it was, to happen. He was concussed. But do I think Tony Jefferson did anything dirty? No, it's football. He went, y'all hit him, right back at you. And however they felt about it is how they felt about it. But we're not going to be bullied no more. I think what we showed is what we've been showing all year as a team, that we're not the soft LA Chargers no more. We're not a finesse team no more, because that's what everybody loved to call us. We're not that no more.
Right, you're right. Jim Harbaugh said when he got there, don't be fooled by the powder blue. And you're starting to see it now. I mean, this is something, that aggression we haven't always seen from this team, but they stood up for each other. They weren't intimidated, and that has to be a great thing to see. Do you think this is a game the Chargers would have lost a few years ago?
Yes, 100%. Because no matter how much different we are as a team, and the fact that we have Jim Harbaugh, you always think in certain situations, because the drive before we took, I think, 6 or 7 minutes off the clock. That felt like a drive that we were supposed to put them away.
Yeah.
We didn't. We know when you don't put Patrick Mahomes away, it comes back to bite you.
Yeah.
So when we gave him the ball back and it was 4 minutes left on the clock and it was 16-13, you don't want to think that way, but you get in your mind like this might end up being a game-winning touchdown by the Chiefs. You feel as though, because of what you've experienced and what you've watched with the Chargers and the Chiefs and how the games usually end, you thought it was going to be another one of those.
Listen, they finished that game against the Eagles. They finished that game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they finished this game today against the Kansas City Chiefs. This was not easy to do, to go in the Arrowhead and beat a team that had been to like the last 4 or 5 Super Bowls, at the least been to 5 straight AFC title games, hadn't swept them since 2013. This team have a lot of pride. They were doing everything they could to not allow us their rivals in the division to come into their home stadium and send them home for the year. So, after watching this game, how confident do you feel about the Chargers moving forward now?
I'm very confident. When you asked me what 2 wins did I think we were going to get, I
Mm-hmm.
said the Chiefs and I said the Broncos. We beat the Chiefs and we beat the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Right.
My confidence, especially from what I see from the defense, like I understand things aren't that good on the offensive side right now, but I got confidence that we'll get it together. And when
Yeah.
we do, my confidence for the Chargers is great because I think when we see the Broncos again, we'll be fighting for the number 1 spot in the division. And I'm
Yeah.
very confident in the outcome of that game.
Yeah. It seemed like, I guess, things happen for a reason. If we didn't suffer the massive injuries we did with Najee Harris and losing Amari Hampton for 9 weeks and losing Slater and all, if we hadn't had those losses earlier, I don't think this would have been an offense that would have been struggling. But, when you down most of your linemen and guys that are playing on the line to protect Justin Herbert, probably wouldn't start on a lot of teams in the National Football League. It's like that's where we know the struggle is coming from. But Jim Harbaugh imprint is all over this team because that's what he do. Even though with all the losses, I think it's made this team a lot tougher. He instilled a lot of belief in this team and believe and trust that he have the winning formula, how to win games. You lost your 2 best tackles and you lost Najee and you lost Amari Hampton. And we didn't know what we was going to look like. But Harbaugh just said, trust me, we'll make it work. We'll find a way. We'll make it work. And to see where we are right now, 5-0 in the division, 8-2 in the conference, swept the Kansas City Chiefs for the first time since 2013, and still within reach of the division. Harbaugh's that dude for real. You feel that way about Harbaugh? I'm not crazy about Roman, but Harbaugh and Jesse Minter, I have to give it to them.
100% I feel that way about Harbaugh. Because you can't look at this year and think that we'd be here without him. Like you said, no Alt, no Rashawn Slater, no Najee Harris. We lost Amari Hampton for a good portion of the season. To be sitting at 10-4, you can't tell me that's not Jim Harbaugh and coaching. Without him, we probably be second to last in this division. That's just how important he is, and how important his imprint is on our team. And you can see that.
Let me ask you this question. Moving forward, some of the best teams in the league right now. Do you think the Chargers can play with some of the best teams in the league now?
Yes. Yes,
and
I do.
Why you say yes?
I got 2 reasons why I say yes. Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert. As long as we have the coach that we have in Jim Harbaugh, we can compete with anybody. And then that plays alongside with Justin Herbert. I understand the offense hasn't looked that good. I understand he's playing with a broken left hand. I understand that the O-line is beat up and they're bad. But as long as we have 10 and that defense gives him more and more opportunities, we're going to be able to compete with any team in this league. And I'm not just saying that out of confidence. You see it between the last 2 weeks. We just played the Eagles, and I don't care how they've been playing. Everybody can have their opinions on the Eagles. That's one of the best teams, and that's one of the teams that was just in the Super Bowl.
That won the Super Bowl too.
That won the Super Bowl, and then we did it against the other team that was in the Super Bowl.
Swept
so you can't tell me that we can't compete. We've shown it.
I give them so much props because they went into a really tough place to play against a team that was fighting for their season, and they didn't blink. And that's a testament to who Jim Harbaugh, and I say Jim Harbaugh all the time, but I really want to say over the last month of the season, Jesse Minter, he's really shown why he's so good because these guys are humming right now. The Chargers have been like putting belt to ass to a lot of physical teams, and I love to see it.
This moment right now for me feels really good because it's been a while since we've swept the Chiefs, and it's been a long time since we've been in position to win the division. So I understand, like in the first half, it wasn't looking good. Like we were stressing watching that game.
Yeah,
but we pulled it out, and we did it. We did it against the Eagles. So it's like when you keep doing it over and over again, it's not luck anymore. Because I know a lot of people, we got lucky against the Eagles. Okay, what are you gonna say now?
Right.
Well, like, what are you gonna say? We're still 8-2 in the conference. There's only so much you can say. At some point, you're gonna have to start giving the Chargers their flowers. And I know a lot of people don't want to do that. I know a lot of people don't want to do that for Herbert. They may have their reasons, but you're going to have to eventually. So for me, as a Chargers fan, a lot of people always talk down on us. Even when we have Rivers, they never gave us the respect that we deserved. And we're in a position to now force people to do that, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So no matter what the Denver Broncos do, as long as we keep winning and we just keep handling what we have to handle, we're going to see them again.
Absolutely. So anything else you want to close with?
Only thing I want to say is we swept the Raiders, and as of today, we swept the Chiefs.
That's right.
We got one more. We got one more job to finish.
Yep.
And best believe the Powder Blues, the Chargers, we're gonna get it done. So, like I said, no matter what the Denver Broncos do, no matter what anybody else in this league do, as long as we handle our business, we're gonna see the Broncos again.
That'll do it for BoltCap. Chargers win 16-13 in Arrowhead in a tough, gritty win that says a whole lot about what this team is becoming now. We appreciate you all for rocking with us. This is me and Justin saying so long until next week. After next week's game, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you stay locked in because this season is getting very, very interesting. Bolt up, guys.
Only you know how we walk in. Passion in the room and the love's on high. Sharing all the stories.